Nestled in the heart of old Europe, without ocean waves lapping its shores or glamorous, bustling ports, a small nation still stands proud. A place where centuries-old castles stand, where breathtakingly beautiful landscapes look like something out of a fairy tale, and where the melodies of history resonate around every corner. With an area of almost 78,000 square kilometers and a population of around 11 million, this landlocked nation serves as a solid bridge connecting the region's economic and cultural powers. With its declension-filled grammar, case system, and unique pronunciation, Czech can prove a formidable challenge for learners. Letters, like the J, a sound that combines a vibrant art with the buzz of APR, famously nearly impossible for non-native speakers to master. However, for a Czech, hearing a Slovak speak is like hearing a familiar dialect, an echo of the shared past during the time of the Czechoslovak Federation. If you're planning a trip here, don't worry too much about the language barrier. English is widely spoken, especially in major cities like Prague, Brno, and Pilsen, where the pace of modern life blends seamlessly with the scars and glories of ancient history. Czechs typically have fair skin and eyes that sparkle with a mixture of determination and often wry humor, reflecting the depth of their nation's history. They may seem reserved at first, but they are warm, hospitable, and fiercely proud of their traditional heritage, yet at the same time very open to the modern world. A simple greeting of Dobr den to a stranger on the street is enough to sense the unique friendliness of the Czech people. Whether you're strolling through the bustling city streets or enjoying the tranquility of the countryside, you can clearly sense the spirit of pride and the tireless drive for growth within each person. To the west, it shares a long border with Germany, the industrial giant of the old continent, a relationship that has brought with it strong investments and active commercial activity, but also a complex and sometimes painful history. When the vast and multicultural Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed following World War I, a new era began with the birth of Czechoslovakia in 1980. This union of Czechs and Slovaks was driven by the shared dream of a democratic and independent nation, led by figures like Georg Mus. However, throughout the 20th century, Czechoslovakia faced monumental challenges. The 1930s saw the rise of Nazi Germany, culminating in the infamous 1938 Munich Agreement, where the Western powers ceded the Sudeten land to Hitler in a failed attempt to appease his aggression. The subsequent Nazi occupation plunged the country into darkness. In the aftermath of World War II, liberation brought with it the heavy influence of the Soviet Union, and the country fell behind the Iron Curtain. The 1960s brought a breath of hope with the 1968 Prague Spring, an attempt to create socialism with a human face, which was brutally crushed by Warsaw Pact tanks. Decades of stagnation and repression followed until, in 1989, the Velvet Revolution, a series of massive peaceful protests, overthrew the communist regime in a matter of weeks. A major milestone in subsequent Czech political history was the peaceful separation from Slovakia in 1993. Known as the Velvet Divorce, it was a powerful and rare example in history of how dialogue and compromise can replace violent conflict. As we entered a new era, the Czech Republic rapidly integrated into the global community. In 1999, the country joined NATO, strengthening its security position on the international stage. In 2004, the Czech Republic proudly became an official member of the European Union, opening up tremendous economic opportunities and consolidating its role in the Western world. The red, white, and blue flag of the Czech Republic is not just a national symbol. It represents an enduring pride in the strength, unity, and resilience of the Czech people. To the south, its deep historical ties with Austria have left an indelible mark on architecture and culture, while with Slovakia the relationship is almost fraternal, having shared a home under the name of Czechoslovakia for much of the 20th century. To the north, Poland is an active trading partner, strengthening a long-standing bilateral relationship. Even without an inviting blue sea, the Czech Republic has become a major artery of Europe, thanks to its strategic central location and a modern transportation system that makes it a crucial logistics hub, seamlessly connecting the east, west, north, and south of the continent. This not only drives a dynamic economy but also enriches its cultural identity through vibrant exchanges. And honestly, between the perfect pints of beer, deep forests, and stunning picture postcard castles, who really needs the ocean? Every land has its own beauty and charm, don't you think so? Yet it is also the place where the word robot was born, and where the adult film industry thrives spectacularly. This is the Czech Republic, a land where the unimaginable becomes reality. Join us as we discover 15 surprising facts about the Czech Republic in today's travel documentary video. Located in the heart of Europe, the Czech Republic proves that a country doesn't need a coastline to capture the footprints of explorers and be a vital hub for the continent. Czech, the country's official language, is a melodious yet devilishly complex branch of the West Slavic languages. The history of the Czech Republic is a courageous journey, a saga in which resilience and diplomacy helped the nation remain strong in the face of great upheavals. When the vast and multicultural Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed following World War I, a new era began with the birth of Czechoslovakia in 1980. This union of Czechs and Slovaks was driven by the shared dream of a democratic and independent nation, led by figures like Godek Mus. However, throughout the 20th century, Czechoslovakia faced monumental challenges. The 1930s saw the rise of Nazi Germany, culminating in the infamous 1938 Munich Agreement, where the Western powers ceded the Sudeten land to Hitler in a failed attempt to appease his aggression. The subsequent Nazi occupation plunged the country into darkness. In the aftermath of World War II, liberation brought with it the heavy influence of the Soviet Union, and the country fell behind the Iron Curtain. The 1960s brought a breath of hope with the 1968 Prague Spring, an attempt to create socialism with a human face, which was brutally crushed by Warsaw Pact tanks. Decades of stagnation and repression followed until, in 1989, the Velvet Revolution, a series of massive peaceful protests, overthrew the communist regime in a matter of weeks. A major milestone in subsequent Czech political history was the peaceful separation from Slovakia in 1993. Known as the Velvet Divorce, it was a powerful and rare example in history of how dialogue and compromise can replace violent conflict. As we entered a new era, the Czech Republic rapidly integrated into the global community. In 1999, the country joined NATO, strengthening its security position on the international stage. In 2004, the Czech Republic proudly became an official member of the European Union, opening up tremendous economic opportunities and consolidating its role in the Western world. The red, white, and blue flag of the Czech Republic is not just a national symbol. It represents an enduring pride in the strength, unity, and resilience of the Czech people. When people think of the Czech Republic, they don't just imagine ancient castles or golden pints of beer. They also recall the enchanting beauty of Czech women. Czech women are known for their graceful combination of classic European elegance and a natural free-spirited charm. This astonishing figure reflects, in part, the Czech people's long tradition of openness toward art, sexuality, and personal freedom. The minimum wage is around 19,000 Czech korunas per month, approximately $860. However, local studies show that here you can easily earn around 40,000 korunas, almost $1,800, enough to enjoy a stable and comfortable life. This tradition of freedom stems from Central European history and was further after the liberalization of the 1990s, when the fall of the communist regime unleashed an unprecedented wave of expression. Prague, in particular, is not only famous in this sector, but is also a favorite destination for filmmakers of all kinds, from Hollywood productions to independent films, thanks to its magnificent old streets, grand Gothic architecture, and cinematic landscapes. The city has been and remains a gigantic film set for various types of art. They typically have fair skin, deep blue or stormy gray eyes, golden blonde or light brown hair, and a healthy, fit physique, often cultivated through a love of nature and outdoor activities like hiking and skiing. Beyond physical beauty, Czech women impress with their confidence, openness, and keen intellect. They have a great love for the arts, travel, and sports, often maintaining a modern and very active lifestyle. In love, Czech women are known for their sincerity and openness. They deeply value personal freedom, so trust and mutual respect are absolutely crucial in a relationship. They don't like flashy displays of affection, but they greatly appreciate subtlety, wit, and authenticity. A cozy dinner, a leisurely stroll through the city, or an adventurous trip through nature will warm their hearts more than expensive gifts. Beautiful Czech women aren't shy about dating foreigners as long as it's a sincere love based on respect. So, you can definitely come here to find your soulmate. Few people would expect the Czech Republic to be one of the leading centers of the global adult film industry. Producing approximately 13% of the world's total content, the Czech Republic offers a high quality of life at a more affordable cost compared to many Western European countries. The younger generation in this country has a spirit of freedom and a strong sense of individuality. Tattoos have become a familiar part of life, and almost a third of young people under 25 have at least one significant tattoo. You might find it hard to believe that this country's presidential candidate also has tattoos. For them, tattoos are not just a fashion statement, but a way to express their personality and outlook on life. Another special feature of Czech society is its high level of sex. Around 91% of young people between the ages of 16 and 29 do not follow any religion. And when considering the entire population, this figure is around 40%, one of the highest in the world. This open-mindedness has created a liberal society where personal freedom, diversity, and differences are always respected. This makes the Czech Republic an ideal destination for those who appreciate a vibrant cultural space and progressive thinking. If you're passionate about historical structures, The Czech Republic is a true paradise. The country boasts around 2,000 castles, fortresses, and palaces, the largest number in the world relative to its land area. Each site bears a historical witness, marking the ups and downs of European history throughout the centuries. Every cobblestone, every tiny street corner, whispers stories that stretch through the centuries. One of the must-see icons is the Charles Bridge, completed in the 15th century. This ancient bridge spans the dreamy Vltava River and is lined on both sides by majestic Baroque statues. In popular areas like Charles Bridge or Prague's Old Town Square, pickpocketing remains a major concern. Professional thieves often target careless tourists. Therefore, always keep your bags and valuables in secure locations. Another problem is the excessive price of taxis. Some taxi drivers take advantage of foreigners' lack of experience to charge unreasonably high fares. To avoid problems, it's best to use reliable transportation apps like Bolt or Uber. With a little caution and preparation, you can fully enjoy all the wonderful moments of this beautiful country. We just completed our journey through 15 incredible facts about the Czech Republic. What impressed you most about this country? Nearby is the Old Town Hall astronomical clock, dating back to 1410. It's the oldest working astronomical clock in the world. The historic Jewish Quarter Josefa is a must-see for history buffs. If you want to discover less traveled corners, head to Strana, home to Prague's narrowest street. Venturing outside of Prague, the Czech Republic welcomes you with rare wonders. The city of Czech Krumlov looks like something out of a fairy tale. If you love hot springs, Karlovy Vary is your perfect destination. For a strange but captivating experience, visit the set where tens of thousands of human skeletons have been artfully arranged. The architecture here is a delicate blend of many styles, from powerful Gothic to magnificent Baroque, from refined Renaissance to elegant neo. But in reality, Czech cuisine is a flavorful adventure. In rustic pubs or cozy family homes, you'll often find tender marinated beef tenderloin served with a rich, creamy sauce. Another must-try dish is goulash. Although it originated in Hungary, the Czechs have adapted this hearty stew. As you stroll through the old streets, it's hard to resist. A sweet pastry wrapped on a stick and roasted over hot coals. Dining in the Czech Republic isn't just about savoring delicious food. It's a cultural experience rich in community spirit. Notable among these is Karlstein Castle, an imposing symbol built in the 14th century by Emperor Charles IV to safeguard sacred treasures such as the crown jewels of the Holy Roman Empire. Czechs enjoy beer in all aspects of daily life, with a brewing tradition dating back to the 10th century and legendary brands such as Pilsner, Urquell, and Budweiser. But beer has become an inseparable part of Czech life. However, behind this pride lie troubling consequences. With the highest average beer consumption in the world, around 140 to 150 liters per person per year, the country has also experienced a significant increase in alcohol-related illnesses. Beer culture, a valuable part of the Czech Republic's heritage, now faces the challenge of finding a balance between preserving tradition and protecting public health. Or Czech Krumlov, a fairytale architectural complex located along a winding river, recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Entering these castles is like traveling back in time, immersing yourself in a space that is both magical and solemn, where history and legend intertwine without borders. Although it's a small country, the Czech Republic's impact on global science and culture is truly impressive. Few people know that the word robot first appeared here, in the famous play, Or You Are, by writer Karel Čapek, which premiered in 1920. The word wasn't just a literary invention, it sparked philosophical and ethical debates about automation and the future of humanity that have lasted for more than a century. Speaking of scientific heritage, the Czech Republic is also proud to be the birthplace of Gregor Mendel, the father of genetics. It was Mendel's patient experiments with pea plants in a Bro monastery that laid the foundation for the entire field of modern genetic research. In the literary sphere, Prague native Franz Kafka has become a global icon. Kafka is famous for his works, which capture a bleak atmosphere and the powerlessness of individuals in the face of absurd social and bureaucratic systems. Today, the term Kafkaesque is used to describe oppressive and senseless situations. The contributions of the Czech people also include inventions that have changed everyday life. Otto Wichterel, a Czech chemist, successfully created soft contact lenses in his home laboratory. Furthermore, composers such as Devo and Bedřich Smetana left behind timeless symphonies that continue to captivate the hearts of music lovers around the world. Prague isn't just a city, it's a living museum in the heart of Europe. When talking about the Czech Republic, no one can overlook the proud creation of Pilsner beer. Born in the famous city of Pilsen, the Czech Republic has long been known as the birthplace of beer, where the beverage is not only refreshing but a cultural symbol. Although the Czech Republic is a wonderful destination, there are still some dark sides travelers should be aware of. In popular areas like Charles Bridge or Prague's Old Town Square, pickpocketing remains a major concern. Professional thieves often target careless tourists. Therefore, always keep your bags and valuables in secure locations. Another problem is the excessive price of taxis. Some taxi drivers take advantage of foreigners' lack of experience to charge unreasonably high fares. To avoid problems, it's best to use reliable transportation apps like Bolt or Uber. With a little caution and preparation, you can fully enjoy all the wonderful moments of this beautiful country. We just completed our journey through 15 incredible facts about the Czech Republic. What impressed you most about this country?